Welcome back. It's the Blackbeard, and we are doing a football roundup for the other matches that we may not have mentioned in our previous videos. Game week 2 had entertaining games. Let's talk about Aston Villa versus Everton. Everton seemed to have started where they stopped by losing their second game on a streak, losing 4-0 to Aston Villa, who had actually lost 5-1 in the previous game week against Newcastle. Man of the match to me was Leon Bailey. The young, talented Jamaican winger was able to star in and have a star performance in that game. Everton seemed to need to have a sit down and reshuffle how their team operates in terms of defending, how they hold their ball play, and how they attack. However, let us give them up to game week 3 and see how they'll perform. Game number 2 is Wolverhampton Wanderers versus Brighton. Brighton seem to be on fire. Currently, they take the top spot with 6 points, but with a maximum number of goal difference ahead of Mancity and Arsenal. Brighton, we know one of their star players this season so far has been Mitoma, and on the other side, Salimach. Salimach and Mitoma have offered pivotal roles in their games, and they seem to have moved away from the likes of Moises Caicedo because the new signings, you're talking about James Milner, Dawood, João Pedro, Welbeck, and the likes, who have also been in the Brighton team for quite some time, have proved to be more than a force to reckon with. Number 3, we're talking about Liverpool versus Bournemouth. It was kind of game where Liverpool had to get the win, considering in their first game they drew against Chelsea. However, a point to note is one of the new signings, that is McAllister, got a red card in that game. Will that affect them going forward in the next 2-3 games? I think it is a big blow. However, I implore that Liverpool will be able to get an extra signing before the window closes. Number 4 is Brentford versus Fulham, another London derby. Fulham seem to have lost the rhythm. They have lost their star striker, that is Alexander Mitrovic, to Al Hilal in a deal worth in excess of 50 million euros. They replaced him with Jimenez from Wolves and Adam Traore. However, we still feel they have not yet clicked yet, and the unison will take a long time. We saw Willian is also troubled in between going to Saudi Arabia and remaining at Fulham. So I think they have a lot of in-room wars that they have to deal with before the continuity of this season. However, the last game that I want to mention, Newcastle versus Mancity. Newcastle did not excite fans. It was quite a boring game. However, I do not know if it's because of the likes of Joe Willock, who missed the game, among other injured players. However, they were able to lose narrowly 1-0 to Man City through the scorer Julian Alvarez. We see Man City have just bought another winger, that is Doku, and he's supposed to replace Riyad Mahrez. I know he's a very good ball player. The Belgium international will perhaps excite fans of the citizens. That is our football game week 2 review.